Is a presentation of 13 ABC Action News. Now, your table is ready. Join 13 ABC's Jeff Smith with the decision makers of Northwest Ohio and Southeast Michigan. This is the Roundtable.
In the 80s and 90s, we had a serious gang problem, and then there was a lull for several years, and it's been increasing. We've noticed it with the economy as it is, and I think the chief, when he took office, said we're going to try to put an end to this.
That was last week here on the Roundtable, and we want to bring that conversation full circle this week. Obviously talking about the gang problem last week, the arrests that have been made as of late by the Toledo Police Department. But as you heard, it's been a real focus of not only the police department and Police Chief Derek Diggs, but there are a number of great organizations here in the Toledo area that are trying to turn the lives around for some of these young people. One in being is the International Boxing Club of Toledo, and we are so pleased this afternoon that you're joining us, but also that we've got Harry Cummins. He is the founder of the IBC here in Toledo. Welcome to the Roundtable.
Thank you for having us.
Also with us today is Kathy Jack. She is the IBC Board President, and we appreciate you both taking some time. Obviously, this kind of tugs at the heartstrings as far as your efforts and what you do with this club, Harry. But as we go back to the conversation last week and the way that Toledo Police kind of framed everything, and the fact that 70s and 80s, things kind of were at their peak. All of a sudden it got quiet as far as gang activity in Northwest Ohio, and now all of a sudden it's picked up again. Are you recognizing that?
Oh, definitely, definitely. We work with kids every day. It's surrounded by the gangs. They come in. We have daily conversations, and we're always teaching these kids, don't go down that route. You know, you guys are champions, you know. Do the work, go to school, get that education, become champions in life. I said, live in the life of a gangster. You only got 5 years. You look at the history of gangsters, either you're going to get killed or you're going to go to prison.
Tell us how it works. How does IBC work? And you know, we framed the show in Targeting Gangs the hook. You use that on your website, ibctoledo.org, telling people that you get them in under the auspice of learning to box.
Correct.
But it's so much more than that.
Exactly. Like I said, we use boxing as a hook to get the kids off the streets. If we put a sign out front saying Learning Center, we won't get one kid. But with that boxing, we pull them in. And once we get the kids in, they're surrounded by positive role models in the gym, and it helps transform these kids and becoming champions in life.
Talk a little bit about how you guys get them in the door. Is this of their own doing? Are parents seeing this as an outlet? How's it work?
A combination. We have parents, a lot of single moms bring their kids in. You know, these boys are 14, 15 years old. And moms will come in and they said, you know, I need help. I need help with my son. He's a good kid, but he's right on the fence post there. You know, he could go either way. I don't like who he's hanging around with. So we try to help him. Some kids, they come in off the street on their own. We've actually had some of the gang members actually come in to learn how to be better fighters on the streets. But after in our program, we've been able to convert them over. You know, they realize by being in a positive environment, it's like, wait a minute, these role models that I'm looking up to are actually embarrassing. And we've converted several gang members into good kids. We have one young man that we took, he was failing in school, and we're just so proud. He graduated from Start High School as an honor roll student, and presently he's attending Bowling Green State University, where he wants to become an architect.
And this isn't a story from long ago. This kid is a freshman this year.
Yes, he just started about 5 weeks ago at Bowling Green State University, so we're very proud of him.
Kathy, are there enough, I guess, IBCs out there right now? And one thing, and I said this before we started the taping today, I was taken, and from an outsider's perspective, I was taken by the fact you look at the territories around Toledo and there are gangs scattered all around them. Are there enough IBC efforts out there?
Well, we do as much as we can for the kids, but there are so many kids that need help. No, I'm sure there's not enough help out there. We're the only gym in the country that offers this educational program.
Talk about, I guess, the beginnings of it and how you guys came to know that, okay, we can use this hook. We can get them in on the boxing, but we can start teaching them. Some of the video that we just showed people at home, it almost looked like there were study tables going on as well.
There is. Every kid that comes in, the first thing they do when they walk in the door after school is an hour of homework. We have a computer lab, we have references, we have tutors to help them. In fact, we have a joint program with the University of Toledo, honors college students who come and tutor the kids twice a week. And also, Harry takes the kids, some of the kids, to the campus of UT, where they experience a college campus, many of them, for the first time.
Yeah. Is this the ultimate metaphor? I mean, obviously they're fighting for their life to succeed, to be upstanding members of the community, but
Right.
but when you reach out to them, I mean, are there barriers to getting through?
Harry could probably address that issue
Yeah.
better than I can. It seems to me that one of the main things that I see is the kids really respond to that sense of family, that we offer a safe place, we help them, we're there for them, they know we care about them, that they can find love and support there. They learn self-esteem, we build them up, and we teach them that it's important to be champions in life,
Yeah.
not just in the ring.
And
most of them actually don't box competitively. They really enjoy the workout, and as you know, physical fitness is really important, and working out gives you those endorphins, makes you feel good, helps you get more positive attitude in general.
Yeah, I want to go ahead here.
I was going to say, Kathy touched on a very good point there. A lot of the kids come in, they really don't want to compete. They just want to work out, release that stress and anger. And after a couple of weeks, they start feeling better. They trust, they learn to trust us. We start developing that bond, and then they open up and they share with us what's going on in their life.
What are you learning from these kids as far as the mentality that's there? We had a scenario just about a week and a half ago where a couple of gang members were near Scott High School. They knocked on a door, they got let in by another student in, they go in, they rough up a kid, they rough up a teacher, and I mean, when you get into the minds of these kids, I mean, what needs to be turned around? What needs to be clicked on?
Yeah, they've got a lot of anger issues, and what we've experienced with a lot of our kids, they need compassionate, they need someone to talk to, someone's positive, and share with them, hey, we care about you. And so many of them, they think the world, everybody hates them, and they got so much anger built up. But we work with the kids and we share, hey, we're family here. We're here to help you. What is your problems? And we help them. Once they see that we really care for them, that's kind of like a turning point. It's almost like, they feel like nobody cares for them.
Do you have dropouts?
Oh, we do. We do. We've actually had some kids. We can't save every kid. I wish we could. We've had some kids that's so bad that we had to actually let them go because we don't want them to destroy these other kids or pull these other kids, suck them into the gangs. A couple of things too I wanted to point out is, to belong to our club is free of charge, but it's mandatory for the kids to bring in their schoolwork. And this is where we turn the kids around. We also have a program where what we call Gloves with Love. We do community service programs. We go to St. Paul's Community Center. We cook and serve food to homeless. We've helped build wheelchair ramps for disabled people. This is teaching these kids how to give back. And then we ask them, how do you feel afterwards? And they say, we feel good helping people. Yeah. So this is what these kids just need. They just need someone to teach them to give back, to help in the community. These kids are lost.
One of the things that we noticed last week, and it was a real initiative of Derek Diggs when he came in as police chief of TPD, he said, as opposed to what has been done in the past, gangs, the gang initiative, the gang unit task force, that is going to be one of my priorities because he saw a real need out there for that. Do you guys, I guess, use the kids who are coming in as instruments to go out and, it's not so much they're missionaries, but they kind of are. You're sending them out to share the word of what IBC is all about, but I mean, do you use it as a recruiting tool?
Oh, in a way.
They have to come to you versus going out and finding them?
Mostly they find us on their own. We don't actually go out and recruit kids to come into the program. There'll be siblings occasionally, so we'll get several children from one family, or they may want to bring a friend or something like that. But I think they just really are looking for someplace to belong, someplace where someone, sort of a home atmosphere, where they feel like they really mean something, they have some self-worth and some value.
What about that missionary mindset?
Yeah, I got to share some stories with you. Our kids don't go out, but the kids, they see our kids and they're like role models. And we've actually had kids, you know, that turn their lives around, and then I have kids come in, you know, from the gangs and say, you know, I'm really impressed with this kid. And this blew my mind away one time, because I'll sit down with the kids before they join, we have orientation, and I'll ask them, why do you want to join the International Boxing Club? This blew my mind away. A gang member told me, he said, you have positive structure. I was blown away. As a kid, you wouldn't expect that. So this is what they're looking for. These kids are looking for attention. And wherever they get the attention, that's the direction they're going to go. They're not getting that attention. So unfortunately, so many of them and these young gang members are getting the attention from the older gang members, and they're drawing them in. So we're trying to reach out and get these kids and guide them down the right path.
Let's talk a little bit about the athletics and what, obviously there's a goal there as far as trying to teach the kids more about life than just boxing, but you have a boxing background, and in teaching them about this sport, what are you trying to develop? And are you finding there are kids who have God-given talent that can be really good? Oh
yes, definitely, definitely. There's a lot of kids that got talents come in, but what we're teaching, it's just like a business. You got to have backup plans. You could be the greatest boxer, you could be the next Muhammad Ali, but if you hurt your hand, what are you going to do? Or after you finish your career, what are you going to do? You got to have an education. Life is a business, so we teach that. But what we teach, we have a saying in our gym, it's great to have a champion in the ring, but it's more important to have a champion outside the ring. We want champions in life. You know, and I receive phone calls that makes me feel proud from people saying, you know, there was a young man who had the International Boxing Club shirt on the other day, and he opened the door for me. And I shared this with the kids. I said, you guys are champions. You guys are being looked at all the time. Now, if one of you screw up, make a mistake, I get a phone call on that too.
They're walking billboards.
Exactly. Yeah. So I said, you're representing the club not only inside the gym, but outside the gym as well. And that's where some of these gang members, they're friends with the kids, they go to school with them or in their neighborhood, and they actually admire them. You know, and they'll come in, it's amazing, some of them will open up and they'll actually say, I've seen him turn around. You know, he used to be running the streets, and I've seen what he's doing, and they look up to him.
If by chance we've got some kids who their direction's just a little bit off skew, and you could reach them today watching, what do you say to them? I mean, if they're unfamiliar with IBC, or if they have talked to some of these guys and girls who are involved, and we want to put that out there as well. You have females who are in the club
too. Yes.
If you're putting out a message to them, what do you say to them?
Well, I tell them, you make choices in life. It's your life. Make the best of your life. You know, do the best. Don't let anybody else lead your life. Be uncommon. Be different. You know, be that champion. And the results are going to be there. But when you do something negative is going to come back to you. You know, we teach our kids, think positive, live positive. Positive things are going to happen to you. Be that champion. Because when you're living that negative life, guarantee you something negative is going to happen. And you can do the history of gangs. It goes way back 5 years. Either you're going to end up, you know, dead or prison. There was a young man years ago who was a great boxer here, and he ended up being a gang leader. And we had a conversation. I was promoting professional boxing. He said, you know, he always called me coach. He goes, I'd come and box for you, but he said, I make more money on the streets. We had a conversation with a group of kids, and we shared this about the history of gangsters. Either you're going to prison or you're dead. 3 weeks later, he was dead. They killed him. And this was the story, you know. And then what was sad was, it was just 2 years ago, I get a knock at my door. A young man came in and said, can I talk to you? I said, sure. I said, what can I help you with? And he goes, well, you knew my father, and I was kind of wondering what my father was like. And here it was this young man that was killed.
Okay.
Those are sad stories.
Yeah. We're talking with Harry Cummins, also Kathy Jacks of the IBC here at Toledo International Boxing Club. So Kathy, how do you guys stay, I guess, on the path you want the club to be on? I mean, is this through donations? How has it been through this tough economy? And obviously you put out the call time and time again that we need help.
Yeah, absolutely. The economy has made it difficult for us, but we've been very blessed. We have some great supporters. Chicks for Charity has helped us a great deal the past couple of years. We are trying to do some fundraisers. We love donations. So everything is free for the children, and we So we want to make sure that we can keep those programs and keep the equipment and the building and everything up to par. So we have fundraisers occasionally, and we love volunteers, you know, anything that, and most of the people in the community really step up. Once they come in the doors and see what an incredible facility and meet these lovely young men and women that are part of the program, they just are in love with the entire thing.
And it was earlier this year you guys relocated, correct?
Yes, we relocated to the old Fun Spot skating arena off of I-280 near Star Avenue.
Okay.
So we're excited about that. One of the things that I just want to stress too, our program is very effective. When I first started the program at Learning Center, 75% of our kids was failing. This past year, 3 of our kids has graduated from the University of Toledo, and we have 11 more attending local universities. We also we have a vocational training center. Since we moved, we don't have it. We're getting ready to build a new add-on to our building for our vocational training center where we teach carpentry, electrical, and plumbing. We feel it's important. Not every kid's
How soon is that going to happen?
We're working on it right now. We have our architect working with the plans, and we're doing fundraisers for it. We want to get that started as soon as possible. We're hoping to break ground here within the next couple of weeks.
Well, you're getting the word out here today.
Yes. So, like I said, not every kid's going to want to go to college, but we've seen kids in the past, and we had this over at our other location, and there was kids just found a passion. They just turned their lives around. Their grades, they brought their grades up, and we teach carpentry, electrical, and plumbing, which is, it's a good trade. I mean, it's a good way to make a living.
Harry, we want to point out the website once again to folks if they want to check out anything that has to do with IBC. It is IBCToledo.org. And there's also another site you said.
IBCprograms.org. It shares all the programs that we offer, our educational programs, our Gloves with Love, our vocational training center. We share that, what we work with the kids with.
I appreciate both of you continuing this conversation as far as the impact that you're making and the problems that need to be addressed here in Northwest Ohio. Thank you so much. Stay right there. We'll have our second segment coming up, talking about the debt situation and why you need to care about it right after this.